Hey there. So we're going to do a series on Original Medicare. I've been getting a lot of questions, and it's been a while since we've done one of these. So I'm going to do multiple videos and we're going to break down how each part of Medicare works, how it works with a Medicare supplement, also known as a Medigap, how it works with a Part C, also known as a Medicare Advantage. So let's get into it. Our first course of action today is going to be Original Medicare Part A. A is an apple. What is Original Medicare Part A? Part A is going to be your hospital insurance, okay? Now, it is free to most Americans. There are some instances where people have to pay for it, but most of us have paid for Part A through our FICA tax or our Medicare tax every time we get paid. And so that little tax on your paycheck stub that says Medicare or FICA, that's what that's going towards, is your Part A for Medicare. And if we pay for it when we have a part-time job all the way up through our working years. You qualify for Part A if you've worked 10 years or 40 quarters, okay? Now, there's instances where people will pay for it, and it's kind of expensive, all right? So it ranges between $285 or $518. These are the 2025 numbers. Who would pay $285 a month for Part A? Somebody who has worked and paid into the Medicare taxes, right? But they only have like 30 to 39 quarters. They don't have the full amount of the 40 or 10 years. So they would pay $285 a month for their Part A insurance. People that pay the $518 per month are people who are 65 and older and not eligible because they have not worked enough quarters in this country. And then certain people with disabilities who have used up their benefits, okay? So it can be quite expensive. Now, what does Part A cover? Part A covers your hospital stay. It covers home health. It covers your skilled nursing. It covers hospice, and there is co-insurance with it, okay? So the first 60 days in the hospital is going to cost you $1,676. Now, I want you to remember, these are the 2025 numbers. Every January 1st, these numbers all change, okay? So days 61 through 90 is going to cost you $419 per day. And then days 91 through 150 are going to be $838 per day. So if you're in the hospital for 63 days, you're going to pay $1,676 plus $419 per day. Okay? It can be quite a lot. Then if you have skilled nursing is totally different than long-term care, and we'll get into that in a minute. But skilled nursing is when you maybe have had a heart attack or a stroke and you need to have a little extra care, but you're too well to stay in the hospital, but not well enough to go home yet, right? The first 20 days in skilled nursing is going to be a $0 copay, okay? And then days 21 through 100, because Medicare pays for 100 days total, is going to be $209.50 per day, okay? After the 100th day, you are responsible for whatever the facility charges. Medicare has said we are not paying any more for this, okay? Skilled nursing can only happen if your doctor asks that you be in skilled nursing. So that means, like, if you've had a heart attack or a stroke or broke your hip or something and you need a little extra care, the doctor's going to write the prescription, you go into skilled nursing, okay? Now, what is not covered under Part A? There's actually quite a bit of things that are not covered under Part A, and number one is going to be eye exams for prescription eyeglasses. They do not pay for that at all. Long-term care. I get this a lot. People are always like, oh my gosh, Lori, long-term care, skilled nursing, they're two different things. So let's talk about it. Skilled nursing, like we said a few minutes ago, is something that the doctor says you need to have after you've had an injury or you're recovering from something and you're not quite ready to go home yet. So maybe you need help getting dressed, or you need help eating or learning how to walk again. That is skilled nursing. Long-term care, which Medicare does not cover and does not pay for, is in a nursing home, because you need care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You need to have this care for your rest of your lifetime. Medicare does not pay for nursing homes and does not take care of long-term care needs like that. Cosmetic surgery, they don't take and pay for cosmetic surgery. There is a few exceptions. If you have something that is life-altering from an accident or something like that, then if there's prior approval, they'll pay for it. But just to say, hey, I'm going to go get a tummy tuck, they're not going to do that for you. Massage therapy is not included in Part A. Routine physical exams are not included. Hearing aids, they will not do hearing aid exams or fit you for hearing aids. Doctor's fees during hospital stays is not covered under your Part A. And then private rooms in skilled nursing in hospitals are not paid for. Personal items like razors, toothpaste and toothbrushes and things like the personal care needs while you're in the hospital or skilled nursing are not paid for by Part A. And then telephones, televisions, things like that are not paid for. And then this is one that I get a lot of grief over, but it's just the rule and I'm the messenger. The first 3 pints of blood are not paid for by Part A. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's the truth, right? Unless it's a hospital that has had it given to them and it didn't cost them anything, sometimes they won't charge you. But the first 3 pints of blood are not covered by Part A. After that, it is covered, okay? And then hospice is covered under Part A. And there's some misconception that hospice is paid for 100%. Hospice is paid for, but there are certain things that are not paid for under Part A. The doctors, certain medications. If it's not a medication to keep you comfortable during your transition period, then like for example, if you are dying of cancer, but they're treating a eye infection, those medications for the eye infection would not be covered. Okay, so there's certain aspects, but majority of the time, your Part A is going to cover your hospital stays. It is going to cover your skilled nursing, your hospice, and like your blood transfusions and things like that. All right. So if we have any questions about how Part A works, put them in the chat and we'll discuss them. All right. You guys have a great day and we'll be back with Part B soon.